Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 gameplay cast with me, Thendis32. Alright, let's get down to this before I start off the game. This is from the Russian Cup, a Warcraft 3 Cup hosted by Morozov that I was able to live cast on War3 Arena. And these are the finals, which is a best of 3 between these two players that I will introduce to you now. So here we go. Spawning as the Red Night Elf, it is Foggy. And his opponent, spawning as the Teal Human, it is Hawk. Human versus Night Elf here on Turtle Rock, game number 1, best of 3 finals with a nice little small prize pool. So I'm sure these players are going to be fighting for them all. As Hawk is the first one to send out a scout. He did check for close spawns because on Turtle Rock we are known to have some close spawns, which could dangerously affect how the game goes. Like cross spawns like these, you're more than likely to have a longer, higher level hero game than you would if it was close spawns with you fighting at each other throughout the whole time. Alright, and a late altar actually coming in here for Foggy, so this makes me think he's going to try some neutral hero shenanigans. There's 2 widely known neutral heroes that elves pick, especially versus human, and that is the Beastmaster or the Dark Ranger. So we'll have to keep an eye and see which one he should decide. Hawk's Peasant's going to scout. He's going to see that this spot is not where Foggy spawned, so he's going to know that Foggy spawned over in this base, the one farthest away from him. Meanwhile, it will be an Archmage as the first hero choice for Hawk, along with some footmen and a defensive tower by the looks of it. So it's nothing too out of the ordinary coming out of Hawk. Alright, Archer planted at the Neutral Air Tavern. Let's find out what hero Foggy would like to get. I'm going to put my money on Beastmaster.
A player's forces are under attack.
Ooh, never mind. Dark Ranger, first hero choice. I know what you're thinking, Thendis. You already casted this, but I'd like to be surprised. Anyway, Hawk's going to militia creep over the orange spot by his base, get a decent item at the start, ring of protection. That was not that decent item he wanted. And the good thing about Dark Ranger with Night Elf is the skeletal minions can tank a lot of shots while you're creeping, so you don't have to use as much Moonwell juice, and thus save it on in case your base ever gets attacked. It's a Mantle of Intelligence, decent item for the Dark Ranger, does give her more black arrows, which means more skeletal minions, obviously. And we're going to have to keep an eye on Hawk's base and see if he techs or goes for an expansion. Sometimes on Turtle Rock, human players are known to militia creep the red gold mine camp biome. In fact, I know they can do it because one did it to me when I was laddering one time, and I was very annoyed. Circle of Nobility, good item for any heroes. It gives every boost known to man, agility, strength, and intelligence. Alright, and Militia's going to be pulled here, so it looks like Hawk's going to try to go for a fast expo at the Gargantuan Sea Turtle Creep Camp. These sea turtles are known to drop some pretty nice potions, such as the Greater Invuln Potion, Greater Menopod, Greater Healing Potion, but they can also drop the Roar Scroll and Wand of Mana Stealing. Oh, but Foggy's coming in with the Creep Jack. Alright, one peasant's gonna die, turn into skeletal minion. Who will get the kill? Hawk gets the kill and the item. Wand of Mana Stealing, which he will use onto the Dark Ranger. She still has plenty of black arrows left into her. Alright, that was a decent creep jack by Foggy. So far he's gotten 2 peasants, make that 3 peasants. That one thought he could make it, but no he can't. That one never stood a chance. He never had a chance in life. Oop, will this archer have a chance in life? She will, but I don't know about her sister. Ooh, no she didn't. Dark Ranger. Whoa, why are you stopping? Foggy, what are you doing? Oh, don't do that to me. Oh. Oh, man. A little bit of Miss Micro by Foggy here as he's almost at tier 2. And of course, fast expansion does mean that the humans' tech will be quite delayed, so they're going to have to rely on aggression and towers. And speaking of aggression, it looks like Hawk's going to try to poke into Foggy's base. Might get a cancel on his Hunter's Hall, and that's going to delay his Ancients of Lore by quite a bit. As you do need the Hunter's Hall in order to make Ancients of Lore. Foggy's going to try to defend. I don't believe Hawk has defend. Otherwise, he would have used it. Defend's a pretty good spell, especially versus archers. Oh, those wisps! The Whiskey caught a bad spot. They can't get out. Foggy's forced to dispel them all. Oh boy. Alright, Archer trying to be micro back. Water Mana Stilling being used yet again by Hawk as another Archer goes down. Hunter's Hall a little bit halfway over, and this is delaying a lot of the tier 2 buildings for Foggy. As Hawk's going to try to cancel this one, not sure if he'll be able to get it. This is going to be close. Foggy might want to cancel here. Meanwhile, Panda Brewmaster's the second hero choice, doing nice harassment over at Hawk's base, killing quite a bit of peasants here. Oh, is he going to cancel the Hunter's Hall? He's going to cancel at the last second after he pulls the wisps out of the gold mine. And this is good harassment by Hawk here. So many of the wood wisp has gone down. Foggy's got a nice bank of wood, though. So it's not totally game-breaking. Foggy trying his best to hold here. The panda actually goes down? What? Oh man, how'd the panda go down? I think the militia surrounded him. And it's not looking good for Foggy at the moment. Alright, Archer's trying to be micro back. One will go down with the fireball to the face. And Ancients of Wind coming in. Foggy's trying to switch for talents, I guess? I mean, he can't make Ancients of Lore, so maybe he's trying to do some sort of Archer talent plays. Those tech buildings keep getting cancelled by Hawk. Nice whip save, putting him in the protection of the gold mine. Hawk's Archmage is very close to level 4.
Is under siege.
An Ancient of Wind, yeah, so I think Foggy's going to try some talent play. I really don't see that versus human often, but we'll have to see how this goes as the panda is resurrected. Was resurrected at the altar. The altar of elders. Aha! I was right. So far, only one arcane tower here to defend. More militia are going to be pulled here to try to defend the expansion. If Hawk can get this expansion up and running, he's going to get really ahead here. As the Breath of Fire goes down onto the militia. One will go down. Hawk barely under halfway to tier 2. Ooh. So another footman gets down. Level 3 onto the Dark Ranger of Foggy. So we do have a Clarity Potion being used. So he could get more water elementals. And the footman going straight for the shop here. And he might get a cancel on it. I take that back. He will get a cancel on it. There it is. Archmage getting level 4. That level 2 Brilliance R means he gets even more water elementals out. As the cooldown on water elementals are quite surprisingly short. Well, shorter than you'd think anyway. It's not like instant. Archmage gonna chase down these weaker archers. Dark Ranger chasing down the weaker Archmage. And Hawk does scout this Ancient of Wind here. So we do have Talons on the way. No tech up to tier 3. He doesn't have enough wood as he did lose quite a bit of his wood wisps. Archmage continuing to get chased down and the wisp gets pulled off the wood. Oh, that was close. Hawk will be forced to TP out. He's very close to tier 2. Soon he'll be able to get his Mountain King and his tech buildings. And Foggy's going to continue to pressure at Hawk's base here. 3 defensive guard towers being produced here. Panda getting level 2 for Hawk. The footmen now have defend. So many weak archers. Oh, we have a Panda Brewmaster's the second hero choice for Hawk as well. Breath of Fire going onto a bit of the archers. Militia being pulled here by Hawk. And Hawk's Panda's gonna chase down those archers. Fairy Fire is on the Panda, so should he try to run away, Foggy can see him. Breath of Fire hitting the skeletal minions. And there's so many towers here, I don't think Foggy's gonna be able to do much. Oh, there he goes, I was about to say. And let's see, what kind of tech do we have coming in for Hawk? So far, nothing. No Sanctums. He is a little low on wood. That might be why. No Blacksmith either that I saw, so... Alright, 1 Arcane Sanctum. So, might not be Riflemen, might not be Workshops quite just yet. So, we do gonna have an engagement here. It looks like Foggy's shop will get destroyed. There's so many weak archers. If that Panda can get a Breath of Fire out, that'd be awesome. But he does not have enough mana, unfortunately. He is a tier 2, though, should he want to buy a mana pot. Oh, Clarity Potion. Surprised Foggy didn't try to cancel it. And let's see, Arcane Sanctum. There's the Blacksmith with double Arcane Sanctum. So I'm not sure if it's going to be Rifleman or if it'll be a Workshop play. My guess is Workshop. Usually you'll see Rifle Caster off of 1 base. At least that's my experience of Rifle Caster. Alright. Right now it's currently 41 supply for Foggy versus 36 of Hawk. Ancients of Wind being uprooted here. Gonna more than likely using the creep. And this Archer Talon Force would actually be very weak versus Mortar teams if he decides to go Workshop. Gonna have to keep my eye on that. As Hawk is creeping away, a level 3 Panda would be really awesome for that level 2 Breath of Fire. Same thing for Foggy, who's very close to a level 3 Panda. And it looks like Foggy's going to try to creep out the red spot, see what super duper item he gets from the Ogre Lord. The town's actually pretty good creeping on this since the Ogre Lords are heavy armor. Level 3 in the Panda, Helm of Valor, not that bad of an item for a Panda as he is a strength here. And it looks like Foggy's actually going to try to do a sneaky little expansion at the top of the... I guess that'd be the Turtle's Head. Since it is Turtle Rock, get it? Uh-huh. Anyway, Ancient of Wind getting caught out here by the Turtles, and the Ancients of Wind are not as tanky as the Ancients of War. As you can see how quickly he's dropping. And Foggy might lose his Ancient of Wind. Oh, Hawk's coming in with the Creep Jack. Breath of Fire, taking out the Ancient of Wind, giving level 3 to his Panda. Silence going down by the Dark Ranger. It's only level 1 Silence by the looks of it, though. Oh, no, it's level 2. What do you know? Oh, yeah, level. I thought it was level 3. I thought she was level 3. Don't give me crap for that. Anyway, Foggy's pushing. Alright, there are Workshops on the way with mortars. So those mortars, if microed correctly, can do a lot of damage versus Foggy's army here. Is he doing a lore transition? He is. 2 Ancients of Lore on the way. Still no tech up to tier 3, so he won't be able to get those bears for quite a long time. He'll need to buy enough time to get the tech up and to get the mastery training, but the mastery training doesn't take that long. But the tier 3 tech does, and it looks like Foggy's going to creep out the other red camp at the bottom. See what super duper item he gets from this Ogre Lord. Maybe it'll be something good, maybe it'll be something bad. Let's find out. He'll get Legion Dunehorn, and that is a good item. It gives that Night Elf army Unholy Aura. Honestly, one of the best auras in the game, so it's a pretty nice item to have. So it does give his army a quicker running speed and quicker health regeneration. As Hawk is going for a second expansion over at the other gold mine here. And good scouting by Hawk. This militia now finds Foggy's expansions not up and running yet, so if Foggy wants to try to do some damage, he could. And Foggy's gonna creep out the oh, no, never mind. He's gonna creep out another red spot. and see if he gets an even better super duper item from the Troll Warlord. Meanwhile, at the same time, Hawk is doing some pressure into Foggy's base. Breath of Fire, taking out quite a bit of the wisps, and the item was Sobe Mask. A really good item, gives that panda quicker mana regeneration, and that means more breaths of fire. So we do have Dryads on the way. Still no tech to tier 3, as he is lacking on the wood. He lost pretty much all his wood wisps, only one left. And Hawk's actually going to try the tower Foggy's expansion here. Cheeky Hawk. Foggy's going to try to defend this. Hawk's army is around, though. Oh, the mortar teams are getting caught out by Foggy's panda, and that's a mistake by Hawk. That's a very expensive mistake. What was that, 4 mortars? That's like 200 gold times 4. That's around 600 gold. 2, 4, 6, 210. That was 640 gold, I think. You know, don't take my word for that, but it was around there. Anyways, that's a lot of gold. He is on 2 bases, so I guess he could afford it, but still, that's not something you want to lose like that. Archmage getting level 5, and those level 3 water elementals are going to be nice. Although there are some Dryads, I believe he got the Abolish Magic upgrade. That would be my guess. Alright, looks like Foggy might try for an engagement. He's going for it. Does Hawk want to take the fight? Okay, he did get Abolish Magic, as it does take out a water elemental. Hawk, playing it smart, knows he needs to fight by his towers to give him that much more of an advantage. His panda's very close to level 4. And that level 2 Drunken Haze with its fire effect would be really nice. Foggy's gonna creep out the last red camp on this map, see what the final super duper item will be. He's been on a good item streak so far. Will it continue? Lion's Horn, a Stormwind? No, that's not the greatest. I mean, the extra armor helps, but he was hoping for something else, like the Flint of Accuracy or something. But you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit unless you want to cry about balance. Anyway, Foggy's going to TP in to defend this. His units are all clumped up, and those mortars are going to do loads of damage if Hawk's doing it right. The panda of Hawk's, very low in health, does have a greater healing potion. We'll use the invulnerability potion instead. Gets level 4, and that Breath of Fire, holy crap. Dryad's going to come around from the side here, try to get the mortar teams. Silence going down by the Dark Ranger. Breath of Fire hitting a good chunk of the casters, and so many talents just went down from the Breath of Fires. Alright, Foggy's panda's looking pretty low. He's gonna have to run away here. Oh, another archer goes down. Healing potion gonna be picked up by the Dark Ranger and a Moonstone. Trying to get what little bit of juice into those moon wells as he can. There's just so many spellbreakers here for Hawk, and more units on the way. Staff of teleportation being used by the pandas. He's gonna try to get back in this. Going straight for the mortar team, but his panda's taking loads of damage. Healing potion takes him down. Nice staff for preservation. Good micro out of Foggy here, but he just doesn't have enough units.
The town is under siege.
Abolish Magic onto the water elementals. Another Breath of Fire going down. Oh, Breath of Fire taking out a Sorceress. Spellbreaker going down. One of the Ancients of Lore will get killed, giving level 5. And if he loses both the Ancients of Lore, he can't remake those Dryads. Both of them goes down. Foggy lost his production. More Abolish Magics under the Water Elementals. Level 6 onto the Archmage with Math's Teleport. Dark Ranger and Panda for Foggy, both very low. And things are not looking good for him. He might even lose his Tree of Ages, which means you can't rebuild the tree, Ancients of Lore. Yes, he does. And GG's called. Hawk takes game number 1 in the Russian Cup Finals. If you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to watch me play Warcraft 3, follow me at Twitch at Thendis32, and I will catch you guys later. Wow, a lot of people watching for a YouTube cast. If you guys miss any of this, they'll be on my YouTube channel. Alright. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Warcraft 3 gameplay cast by me, Thendis32. Alright, before I start anything, if you have not seen game number 1, I recommend you get out right now. Alright, this is your spoiler warning. Alright, for those of you that missed it, Hawk took a very fierce game number 1 out of Foggy and is currently up 1-0 in this best of 3, but let's us introduce our players. Spawning as the Red Night Elf. He's down, but he's not out. It's Foggy. And his opponent, spawning as the Teal Human. He's currently up 1-0. It is Hawk. Human versus Night Elf here on Secret Valley. Alrighty, nothing too out of the ordinary. Looks like Foggy will be doing the standard Ancient Award creep over at the Null Overseer encampment. He did not go for a late altar like last game, so no neutral hero here. Might see a Demon Hunter, maybe even a Warden, we'll never know. We'll have to wait and see. As for Hawk, it looks like he's going the standard Archmage Footman opener. Human players are known to militia creep the Null Overseer camp of theirs, and if of course they can militia creep here if they want to go for a quick expo. Which is always a possibility if you're human with that valuable militia ability. And it will be an Archmage as the first hero choice for Hawk, and a Warden. Ooh. Foggy trying to mix things up here. Alright, Warden will be the hero choice for Foggy. So we do have an Archer being mage. He's going to pull back the creeps. Ancient War is going to take some shots here. And as long as he doesn't kill anything, full experience will go to the Warden, of course. Alright, Foggy's sending a Wisp out here. And this makes me think he might try for an expansion more than likely. Maybe. You never know, as he is doing a good job spraying out his wisps, getting the map vision. The first footman out of the barracks will be sent out to scout by Hawk, which is a sign they'll be militia creeping, because they really don't need that first footman if they're militia creeping. Alright, militia being pulled, and it looks like Hawk will be doing the standard militia creep at the Null Overseer encampment. And a second Ancient War being built by Foggy. Do we have a Hunter's Hall? I'll have to keep my eye on that. It could possibly be a Huntress opener. We never know. Hawk better be careful. Loses one in the militia to the creeps. That's unfortunate. As Hawk will get a clause of attack +6. Not bad. Circle of Nobility for Foggy. Not bad either. And keep an eye on Hawk's base for the Tech to Tier 2 or a possible fast expansion. Either option's pretty viable. Alright, this footman does reveal that it's a Warden, so that might make Hawk change his ideas should he wanted to try to do anything. He's sticking with that second Ancient, but I still don't see a Hunter's Hall.
A player's force
So, more than likely that second Ancient War is just for creeping. Sometimes you see two Ancients of War in a Hunter's Hall, that obviously means a Huntress build. Oh, footman gonna take off the creeps, denying the experience to the Warden. He sacrificed his life for a good deal, and we will miss him greatly. So Hawk looking to be a little bit aggressive with his Archmage Footman Strike Force. He is taking up to Tier 2, so he will not be going for that quick expansion. He could possibly expand, but not at the moment, I would say. One Wisp dispels, one gets taken down. Alright, meanwhile, Foggy picking up boots of speed in his Warden, very valuable when chasing down the Archmage. Ooh. Still no tech out of Foggy. The Ancient War delayed his tech a little bit, and you really don't want to tech while your base is getting harassed, otherwise you won't be able to remake the Wisps you might lose. So Foggy's gotta be careful. Ooh, Hawk pulling back the creeps. He finds the second Ancient of War. Ooh. That's not looking good for Foggy here. He still has these footmen running rampant throughout his base here. Shadow Strike going down on one of the footmen. One of the footmen. Sorry about that. And should die by a dot, or the archers. Hawk continuing to pester at this Ancient of War with his Archmage. Foggy getting blocked up by the footman. Does get another Shadow Strike off, and that should be enough to kill it. Oh. Oh, Hawk tried to deny the experience. Warden did get the last hit. Why am I stuttering so much as the second Ancient of War does go down? Keep in mind, folks, if Hawk wins this game, he wins the tournament. And that's never good. Alright, a little archers getting caught out of position. Hawk does not have Dust of Appearance should they want to Shadow Meld. He's continuing to pressure. Foggy is about halfway to tier 2. Hawk very close to tier 2, so he's ahead on tech. As the Weakened Wisp being put in the safety of the gold mine. Same with that one. And so far so good the Wisp micro here from Foggy. So Archmage gonna be shoot away. Alright, tier 2. Looks like we'll have a Blood Mage as the second hero choice, which isn't too uncommon. Sometimes you'll see him, more than likely the Mountain King, but he's not uncommon as the Archmage getting blocked up by the Wisp. Another Shadow Strike. A pesky sheep blocking up the Warden. Doesn't matter though, she has boots of speed, and Hawk is forced to use his TP.
A town is under siege.
So we do have Riflemen. And do we have an Arcane Sanctum? More than likely it'll be a Rifle Caster build. As soon as I see the Arcane Sanctum, there it is. So it will be Rifle Casters from Hawk. Alright, Foggy with a good chunk of archers, and that could mean he can creep out the Red Drake, who drops a very nice item for an orange creep camp. He's going to use the archers, pull him back out of the healing range of the health fountain, and then slowly siege him down. Very nice, very nice. And especially when you want to go warding, you want it as high level as possible. I know what you're thinking, duh, of course you want your hero high level, but it really matters for the Warden. Like, really matters. Sobe Mask, good item for the Warden. Gives her quicker mana regeneration for her Shadow Strike, her Blinks, her Fan of Knives, whichever choice Foggy made. Wardens can pretty much use any of those possibilities. Usually I see Shadow Strike or Blink or Fan of Knives and Blink, but once in a while you see both. So the Blood Mage will suck away the mana from the Ogre Magi.
A player's forces are under attack.
Wow, and that Ancient of War had himself a nice little trek with the Hunter's Hall, as we do have double Ancients of War coming in, and another Ancient of War actually. So more than likely Dryad Bears coming out of Foggy here. He will need to take up the tier 3 in order to get the bears. Archmage Hawk very close to level 3, 1 kill away, and those level 2 water elementals would be really nice. Mantle of Intelligence. It's going to drop the Ring of Protection for it. Alright, both players just creeping away. Alright, level 2 and level 3 on to Hawk's heroes. It's currently 48 supply for Hawk versus 28 of Foggy. Ooh. Foggy needs to get his production up and rolling,
Player's forces are under attack.
or else he's gonna get outmassed here. Alright, upgrade wise, it's currently 1-0 versus, well, no upgrades for Foggy. I just he doesn't have the tier 2 units, and it looks like he's lacking a bit on wood. There is no shredder on this map. Oh, and militia being pulled here, and I think Hawk's gonna try to go for a bit of a tower push here. This could be pretty deadly, as Foggy doesn't have a good chunk of units out at the moment. He has a nice little archer strike force here, but Not sure how far Archers could take him. Siphon mana going down the Warden, who does Fan of Knives. She is very close to level 4, but if she has no mana, it really doesn't matter. Ancient of War gonna uproot, try to defend this. Second Ancient of War also on the way. Nature's Blessing upgrade makes him quite fast, as the Warden did Fan of Knives yet again. And if you could get a nice spot, Fan of Knives would shred through the human casters. There's another one, level 4 in the Warden, but the Blood Mage continuing to suck away the mana. Shadow Strike onto a Rifleman. Healing Scroll being used by Hawk. The Militia ran out, still no towers going down from the Peasants. Abolish Magics onto the Water Elementals as Banish being used onto the Rifleman. More Abolish Magics, taking out more of the Water Elementals here. Another Siphon mana, but the Warden does manage to get a Fan of Knives off. These Ancients of War are going to be pretty nice at helping Foggy defend here, because they do soak up quite a bit of damage. Alright, Warden with no mana does have a mana potion though. Probably going to wait for the right time and use it. These peasants hacking away at the Night Elf army with their pickaxes. Alright. Warden, slow is on her. Mana drain being used on her. And it looks like Foggy's going to try TP, get his army in a better position. More Ancients of War being built to try and hold this off. So Warden will use a Clarity Potion. More and more Dryads being produced by Foggy here, and the Blood Mage continues to siphon the mana. Hawk doing a very good job at being annoying with his Blood Mage. Alright, Warden's gonna come in. Shadow Strike going down. Will use the mana potion and Fan of Knives. But Hawk does use another Healing Scroll. He's out of Healing Scrolls. The Warden's very low in health. Level 5. Oh, another Fan of Knives. I believe that was level 3, killing quite a bit of the human casters. Alright, level 3 onto the Blood Mage, and that level 2 Siphon mana is going to be even more annoying, as it drains quite a bit of mana, let me tell you what. Right now, it's 33 supply versus 50, so Foggy is down at the moment. Blood Mage draining more mana right in the face of the Warden. It's like spitting on her face. And if Foggy loses these Ancients of Lore, his production's gonna go down so much. Whisk's gonna be trying to pull the repair. Dryad gets focused down. Dryads take loads of damage from Rifleman, who's currently at 2-1 upgrades versus 0-0 still. And if Hawk wins this game, folks, he wins the tournament, as his Archmage gets level 4. Abolish Magic's going down onto the Water Elementals. Oh, look at how fast the Warden's mana drops from the Siphon mana. I think it's like 20 mana. Oh, GG. Congratulations, as Hawk wins the Russian tournament. The Russian Cup. If you like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you want to watch me play Warcraft 3, follow me at Twitch at Thendis32, and I will catch you guys later.